Movie makers love dropping little Easter eggs in their works for fans to find. Minions and other movies from the Despicable Me franchise are no different. In today's video, we will be talking about Minions, Easter eggs, and secrets that fans may have completely missed. First, Minions are speaking a real language. What were your first thoughts when you saw the evil yellow creatures that serve as Gru's henchmen? We don't know about you, but we couldn't help falling for the cute and charming appearance of the supposed evil creatures. Their adorable look and undeniable devotion to Gru and their made-up language have captured the hearts of many. While it's definitely very cute and amusing watching the Minions talk amongst themselves, it's been nearly impossible for the viewers to translate, making most think that the yellow creatures are speaking gibberish. Contrary to this belief, the Minions are actually speaking a real language. Directors Pierre Coffin and Chris Renaud actually came up with a real language referred to as the Minionese. They even went as far as to create an app to help decipher what the Minions are saying. Minionese is basically a combination of multiple dialects, the most dominant being French and English. Next, Minions match with Gru's daughters. Like many others, we had also missed this little detail the first time we were watching the movies. If you pay close attention to the three main Minions and Gru's daughters, you'll find some striking similarities between them. Each of Gru's daughters matches up perfectly with his top three Minions. We're not just talking in terms of personality, but also appearance. All three Minions match in terms of appearance with Margot, Edith, and Agnes. This little tidbit of information changes so many things. It makes us wonder if subconsciously, Gru felt more comfortable around the girls as they are quite similar to his Minions. We're also curious to know why the writers and directors made the deliberate choice to match up the Minions with Gru's daughters. As of now, we haven't been given any explanation for this particular design choice. Next up, give Lucy a call. Kristen Wiig was really able to make quite an impression on the cast and crew with her minor role as Miss Hattie during the first film, so much so that she returned in the sequel as Lucy, a major character and love interest for Gru. At one point in the movie, Lucy gives Gru her phone number, 626-584-5723. Some of the viewers noticed that the number had a Los Angeles area code and tried calling. Turns out that the number is actually available. When the movie was still playing in cinemas, fans could call the number and be able to hear Kristen Wiig's voice as Lucy. While the number is still in service, you can no longer hear Lucy's voice as the mailbox is so full. If you do a little digging around on YouTube, and maybe even Twitter, you may be able to find a video of the original recording of Lucy. Now, let's dive into Close Encounters with El Macho. For the longest time, movies, animated or otherwise, have played a big part in preserving pop culture. The Despicable Me franchise is no different. One particular scene where they pay homage to pop culture is when Gru follows El Macho, one of the antagonists, into his lair. When El Macho enters his lair, he has to tap dance the code into the titles to the recognizable beat of La Cucaracha. Once the correct titles are pressed, the building responds with a 5-note hum. If you're a sci-fi geek, you were probably able to match the similarity between this scene and the way spaceships respond in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. We're assuming that the writers or some of the production crew were probably sci-fi geeks. Plus, the Despicable Me franchise is particularly targeted at families, which means it's meant to appeal to children and adults alike. The sci-fi references were probably there to bring a sense of nostalgia for parents who have probably seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Next, going bananas over product placement. We won't shy away from admitting that commercials and product placement can be a real pain, especially when the products are unrelated and make the scenes seem irrelevant. Illumination Studios definitely made note of the audience annoyance and actually pulled off product promotion really well. We all remember the catchy banana song that went viral after Despicable Me 2 hit the theaters. Chiquita Bananas had a huge promotion with the movie. According to reports, the company had to print over 1 billion stickers for their bananas with the release of the movie. Talk about a busy promotion period, right? The best thing about this collaboration is that, unlike sugary drinks or expensive electronics, the film actually clearly promoted something healthy to the kids watching the film. We don't know if it was the same for you, but we know quite a few kids that developed a liking towards the fruit after watching the Minions sing about it. Now we have Looney inspiration. If you haven't seen Looney Tunes when you were younger, you've definitely missed out big time. Not only did the animated series offer a lot of amusement, but it also had some inspiring moments. Chris Renaud definitely found some inspiration from the animated series. The director and creator of the Minions revealed that the evil purple version of the Minions was inspired by the old cartoon. If you've watched Looney Tunes, you'd remember that in one episode, Tweety Bird turns into a monster after drinking a certain concoction. The frizzy hair, crazy eyes, and abnormal gait are definitely similar to the monstrous Tweety we see in the legendary cartoon. Another piece of interesting information is that the color purple wasn't randomly chosen for the evil version of the Minions. If you look at the color wheel, you'll notice that purple is the opposite hue of yellow. We don't know about you, but we're definitely impressed by how clever the creators were with the Minions. Remember Willy Wonka's Oompa Loompas? Speaking of inspiration and pop culture references, the beloved yellow minions that help Gru through his various missions were actually inspired by some other legendary henchmen. Remember the Oompa Loompas that performed various tasks in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory? The mannerism and the role they play as Gru's henchmen were inspired by the iconic characters in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. If there was a battle between Willy Wonka's Oompa Loompas and Gru's minions, who do you think would win? Next, a little present from the Grinch. Now, if you're a fan of Disney movies, you know that Disney and Pixar absolutely love leaving little Easter eggs for the viewers to find and piece together. Illumination Studios did something similar when they released Despicable Me 3. If you place close attention, you'll notice that in one of the scenes, Margot is wearing a black shirt with the Grinch on it. This was a little Easter egg the studio left for its viewers to hint at their next big film. And just as they hinted, not even an entire year later, we got The Grinch, 2018. Were you able to catch this Easter egg when you first watched Despicable Me 3? Al Pacino almost made an appearance in the film. Al Pacino is most popularly known for some of his more serious and sometimes a bit intense roles in films like Carlito's Way, Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, The Godfather, and Scarface. There's no doubt that Al Pacino's portrayal of Tony Montana was phenomenal, and the actor almost got to voice Eduardo in Despicable Me 2. Can you imagine one of the cute little minions going all, "Say hello to my little friend"? Unfortunately, the acting legend had to decline due to some other commitment. The role was then taken up by Benjamin Bratt. The latter did an excellent job with his role, though we do admit that it would have been iconic to see the actor being a part of the Despicable Me movie. Next up, fiction informs reality. Not everything within fictional worlds is made up. More often than not, fiction reflects reality. Remember the story of the 3 little kittens that Gru reads to his daughters? You'll be pleasantly surprised to know that the book actually exists in reality and is called Sleepy Kittens. If you want to read the same book to your children or younger siblings, we're sure you can find it at a bookstore or a store online for purchase. Lastly, Minions directors doing more than just directing. Pierre Coffin and Chris Renaud have put in quite the work to create the Minions. From the inspiration for the character to creating a separate language for them, and then even coming up with a counterpart, the two have really gone all out for these yellow creatures. But that's not where it ends. Nope, there's more. Much to everyone's surprise, both Coffin and Renaud have also voiced the lovable yellow minions. All the weird noises, utterances, and laughs you hear belong to none other than the directors of the movies. Remember how we mentioned earlier that Minionese language contained dominantly English and French? Well, that's because these two are the two directors' native tongues. Who knew there could be so many hidden Easter eggs and secrets in the Despicable Me franchise? Clearly, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that the viewers don't get to see. How many of these Easter eggs and secrets were you already aware of? Was there anything that we failed to mention? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to drop a comment down below.